What is the up, guys? Today, I'm gonna show you how I make these lip balms. I made vanilla and I made orange. Oh yeah, I remember because I had a whole snafu about it. I'll show you during the voiceover. But these are the cutest. I don't even want to use them because like they're so cute. Here's the lip balm containers that I'll be using. They are pretty adorable. I've never used these ones before, so we'll see how they work. Alright, to start off your mixture, all you have to do is add as many beeswax kernels as you like. As I've established, I don't really like using a recipe because I'm lazy, but there are tons of recipes online if you want to check them out. Soap Queen has a really good one. But basically, you're just going to add whatever ratio you like of beeswax to other oil, like for example, sweet almond oil, coconut oil, something like that. I'm going to be using avocado oil as well as coconut oil paired with in my beeswax, which I have already melted here because it does take a while to melt in a double boiler. And then I also added my vanilla lip flavor, which is really just a scent. There's no such thing as lip flavor. Usually companies will just add sugar to it. But you have to do a lot of extra steps for that, so I don't really add sugar or any sweetener to mine. And you can see here I'm just taking a little pipette and filling them up individually. I don't recommend holding them in your hand while you do this. I just wanted to be able to show you guys on camera. Usually I'll line them all up in a row and then just pipe it in. They do have handy dandy mechanisms so you can do a bunch at a time, but I just don't own anything like that. It's extra work and I don't really mind doing it the slow way since I'm only making a few at a time. So you can see when it hardens, it gets that little hole in the middle. And I'm gonna fix that by candling it. First, I'm gonna just add a little bit more. I tried two different things. So for some of them, I tried adding a little bit more, but then it kind of gave an uneven top after the end, and I'll kind of show you that. See, you can see right there, it already looks better. On some of these, I dripped on the side. All you have to do is wipe that off with a paper towel and you're all good. Here's the candling technique I was talking about, and that you can just gently go over only a short burst at a time so you don't burn anything. And you just gently melt it to make the top glossy. And in this case, it also spread it evenly over the top. Usually that's not much of an issue, but I found that on all of the ones that I did today with these particular lip balm containers, that was an issue regularly. So I just took my little lighter and I just gently went over the top to make it even and glossy, and it just looks very professional. So as you can see, my vanilla flavors are done and I decided to go in a green container for that. And now I'm gonna start my orange. So I opened my orange jar, brand new from the store like you saw, and there's nothing in it. It never got filled up at the factory. So I feel gypped. I really wanted to use this orange. Like, that's why I bought the package. At least the vanilla one had something in it. But I mean, what the heck? So I decided, because I was no longer able to use the correct flavoring that I wanted to, I decided to go ahead and use essential oil, which I don't recommend doing because it does irritate a lot of people, but a lot of people it's also fine. So anyone I give these to, I'm just gonna let them know, hey, if it does irritate you, don't use it, blah 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 blah. But I'm not really selling them professionally, so I'm not too worried about it. But that is something to keep in mind for bath products. Essential oils do irritate people or cause sensitivity a lot of the time. That being said, this oil does smell really good. And I was gonna do orange by itself, but I couldn't resist putting in the vanilla too. And I love how the fragrance turned out. It smells very, very creamsicle, like Jamba Juice, if you ever had that like orange dream machine thing. Oh, it's so good. I know some of you know what I'm talking about. With this, I do exactly the same thing with the pipette. Just squeeze it up while it's still hot and then put it right in the container. I only had 2 flavorings, so for this next batch, the only difference is that I added some Lip Safe mica powder, and I'm just lucky I had it in an appropriate color, because usually I only have one that's red. Alright, here's a different view. This is how I would normally set this up instead of one by one in my hand, and I just like square it away until they're all done. And then since you're not touching them, they'll actually cool evenly on the top and they won't look jostled, and they'll just look a lot more professional. And people feel better about having them when they actually have like a nice even top. They don't look tampered with, even though none of them would be tampered with anyway. They just look so much more professional, and people will definitely like it better that way. So this is how you clean out your container. You just take a paper towel and wipe it right out. It's super easy. As I was talking about earlier, I just candle the top to make it look glossy and beautiful. As you may have just noticed, my little torch died. So I'm gonna finish the rest of them off camera. So for the rest of the purposes of this video, just pretend that I've finished the orange ones. So yeah. All right, now that the actual body products are made, it's time to make some adorable little labels. I'm not actually gonna write anything on the label. I just wanna make it look cute and more profesh, I guess. So normally you would label, but they're just going to some of my friends, so I'm not too worried about it. But I'm making little squares out of these in the appropriate size for my specific lip balm containers. I don't know if they're all the same, but I did 1.7 by like 2 inches or something like that, and it worked really, really well for my particular lip balms. Alright, here's where we get a little janky. I was lucky enough to have tape that fit exactly the right width of my tube, so I just stuck my pieces of cutout paper onto this tape, and it left a little tiny edge at the top and a little tiny edge at the bottom so that the whole thing was completely covered by the tape. And then as I got several ready, I would cut one and then place it on my tube. This part you just have to be really slow and steady about, but it is actually pretty easy to do. Ta-da! It's all finished. I love this paper because it's partially see-through, so you can still see the color of the lip balm itself, which I really love. And we're all done. Woo! I love them. I used a bunch of different types of paper. Make sure if you're gonna do this that you mind which direction your pattern's going. The chevrons I almost cut in a vertical pattern. I had to go back and recut a bunch of it, but it turned out good in the end. Well guys, now that you know how I make these so cute little things, I hope this inspires you to make your own. I know it was kind of a bummer that I had to sub out the stupid empty bottle for an essential oil, which I did not want to use because it irritates some people's skin. That's why you don't usually use essential oil in bath products, if I haven't explained that on the channel before. It smells like a creamsicle because I put the vanilla and the orange essential oil. I will say that an orange essential oil, I don't have anything to compare it to, but it was doing its job and it smells so good. It doesn't taste like anything, obviously, but it is doing its job, I tell you. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like the video and have a good day.